What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into this episode. I want to give a special shout out to one of our day one sponsors, Fabricator 3D Printers. They have 3D printers to fulfill any of your production, educational, and hobbyist needs. With their durable frames and precision nozzles, you are guaranteed amazing prints every time. With a full functioning computer built into the printer, you can do all of your designing, slicing, and printing in one place. Dream it, design it, print it. That's Fabricator 3D Printers. Check them out at fabricator.com. Thanks, guys.
Get to the chopper! What a world! It's my best Predator right there. Alright, we are back with another week of Did You Even See That? Mason, did you even see that?
I can't even breathe right now.
I saw that helicopter, that's what I saw. Didn't see that Predator.
Well, all our viewers, or all our listeners, you are now cleared for landing.
Apparently. To not stand up immediately, I don't know, fucking plane thing.
Error.
Robocop was not meant for that.
Pull out EXE not working.
Oh my god. Welcome back to another episode of Did You Even See That? Did you even see that?
Are we actually recording? Oh god.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, okay.
Of course we are. If you guessed it from last week, we are we are talking about Robocop 1987. That is right. The original Robocop, not the newer one, which
I forgot they did a remake.
yeah, it had mixed reviews. Like, I liked it. It was different. It was definitely more interesting having a like functional, fast-moving Robocop to the immobile tin can that we had in like 1987.
Yeah, but at least tin can Robocop you could expect. Like, yeah, he's bulletproof.
I liked how they like stuck with the same theme off of the third one, where it's like we're gonna have the Japanese be a big part of this.
Oh,
He just goes to China or Japan, wherever, some Asian country to
I am the law.
be tested. Yeah,
I am the law.
you're coming with me, dead or alive.
Just like the only thing human about him was the fact he had a soul,
yeah.
and
Well,
like,
his face.
and that was it.
I mean, the new one was. I like the new one where they like took
Where
him
it was more or
apart
less
and he
a
had like
suit.
lungs
Yeah.
and like his hand was like still a hand, and then his
So that thing's
Oh yeah, like the first one is like they took his head and just put it onto a robot.
yeah.
yeah. I think they kept the brain. I don't know if they kept the brain.
I don't remember.
The first one doesn't reveal
Yeah.
that, but like I think maybe
All I
the second
remember
one.
is, I mean, at least he had a human mouth.
Yeah, his scalp was like stretched stretched over the robot face.
Well, that's it. Like, new RoboCop was more of a cyborg than what like Robot Kobo.
Robocobo.
Yeah, I don't want to say Robo. Yeah.
Robo.
That's a chicken.
Cluck, cluck, cluck.
Robot chicken. Yeah, this is this week's episode. Robot chicken.
I think we could do a lot of episodes on Robot Chicken.
All right. So, great opening. Takes place in Detroit.
Clearly the safest place.
Well, I like how like
Well, it's not the safest.
It's not the
That's why they need a
safest.
fucking RoboCop.
they get RoboCop because they want to build a nicer Detroit.
That's
But-
an oxymoron in itself.
Yeah.
It is, but that's a great fucking idea.
Well, like, you know what the funny thing was is like so in the movie they're talking about how OCP wants to build a bigger city, like a bigger futuristic city in Detroit. And that's why they come up with like these robots and RoboCop and like all these just different ideas to get rid of crime. But basically what they mean is they want them to like obliterate crime by just killing them all. Like where
Perfect idea.
where like cuz like they didn't have, you never hear them talk about just like, oh, we need to build a bigger prison. Like if the city is just
No, because that doesn't
infested
really
with
work
like
out.
yeah, it's
Judge
like
Dredd. They build big ass towers for people to live in. Crime goes up.
yeah,
I
and
was
they
gonna
get
say,
out and then
I think we're past
Sylvester
that point.
Stallone.
Detroit has learned its lessons in movies and in real life. We need Robocops.
robot cops
I was gonna say
Fuck it.
or
why not?
clones.
Clones, Robocops,
Skynet.
Skynet. Yeah.
No, we don't need Skynet.
We need to start learning from these great
If
movies.
you were
and
if you
just
were
producing
posing the
these things.
idea of getting rid of half the population so we reduce our carbon footprint, then Skynet's a good idea.
So Thanos was right, is what you're telling me.
Oh, okay.
Thanos was right.
I didn't say he was right. I said if that was your plan.
Thanos was
but-
right.
half. I'm snapping until like I can't like snap anymore. Exactly. Just cut
Oh
out
my
all the
God.
half.
Oh
We
my
have way
God.
too many fucking people in this world.
Yeah,
Robocop 2020.
Oh my God, Robo.
Thanos 2020.
Oh my
Robocop
God.
Thanos
Robo.
2020.
Thanos is president, Robocop is vice president.
Anywho,
Anywho, it opens up. Like I said, it's Detroit, and it opens
Judge
up.
Dredd, Speaker of the House.
What?
Judge Dredd, Speaker of the House.
Oh
Just
my
a
God,
God.
Judge Judy.
Drink.
But yeah, opens up in Detroit with like a news station. I thought that was one of the funniest things that was in any of the RoboCop movies, and even the new one, is they had those like news bulletins where they talk about like the events going on. But like the events are like super funny and just like totally not in realm of like reality or anything.
Squirrel learned how
like-
to drive bus into school.
Yeah, like the first one was like the president is like
Flex
on a
radius.
space station or whatever, but like there was some sort of failure and like they're all floating around. So like the president at the time of this movie is in space. And the spaceship that
So
they're
is ours
on or
now.
space station is not functioning right. Just like literally there's like probably 25 Secret Service agents on the spaceship like, how do we stop this? How do we help the president? We're gonna get fired.
0G. Get down, Mr. President. Oh, I just realized this doesn't work since it's a visual thing.
Yeah, we still need to shoot the visual episode, but
Get down, Mr. President.
but yeah, and then they had like the next commercial
Yeah.
for the news the news
love
broadcast was a Yamaha commercial for a new heart.
That I completely believe.
But it's just funny like that like it's just like standard company, and then they're just now making hearts for people, and they're like, oh, you can buy one today. New heart.
So what you're telling me is the healthcare in Chicago is not horrible.
Yeah, apparently not. Apparently Detroit has at least good enough health care to order a new heart. But
Thank you, Yamaha.
anyways, they start talking about the news reporters start talking about how like crime is up, there's a bunch of dead cops, and the union's blaming OCP, which OCP is like they bought part of the police station and or part of the police force because they're funding them. They're funding the cops with gear, guns, whatever. And yeah, OCP really just bought them so they can control the cops and try and reduce crime or get rid of crime so they can build their new Detroit. Which is just funny to me because out of all the cities that you could just make nicer,
Detroit.
yeah, why Detroit?
because it's the city that needs it.
No, you need to go freaking Escape from Detroit. Snake Plissken comes in there, has to save Robocop. Yeah, that's what happens when you prick yourself with a pin. It
Yeah.
hurts and you bleed.
I'm not bleeding. I don't know what you're talking about. North blood.
Really?
I ain't got time to bleed. Oh wait, we're not on Predator. Yeah, never mind.
Wrong episode. Stick.
But yeah, the news people start talking about the bad guy, and he will be the bad guy for the film, and it's like Clarence something, which
I'm
his
sorry,
first
but
name's
A
Clarence.
bad guy can't be named
His
Clarence.
parents have a real good name. No, sorry. He's in Detroit. He's the bad guy. His name's
So
Clarence.
you're telling me that Eminem is the
Eminem's
bad
gonna
guy?
take him down. No, Eminem's gonna take him down because he takes down any dude in Detroit named Clarence. But
Sounds like a lot better movie than what I watched.
I'm surprised that he didn't make a parody off of like that movie.
No.
But the parody was just 8 Mile.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Clarence, who had apparently killed 31 cops, which is just like a ridiculous amount of
Time
police
out.
force.
That's like nothing compared to nowadays, though.
Yeah, but like
It's a very specific amount.
Not really. It could have said
31
like
people, I would
20.
say, not compared to
at least
anything
they don't
today.
throw in like
but
a
like
half.
one dude killing
One guy's
31
named.
cops.
Would you count a half killed being maiming or like paraplegic?
A half killed like someone else shot him too or something.
It's an assist.
Yeah, it's like a sack in football.
Oh,
Two
okay.
people hit somebody. It's
2
half a
points.
sack.
2 points.
Half a sack, like every male
my God.
in this generation.
Oh my! Half a sack, just like Clarence. Anyways, the news, the broadcaster goes on to say that there's one cop that's still in the hospital whose name is Fredericks, and like the funny part about this is he wishes the cop, quote, good luck, and like puts his thumb up towards the camera. It's
So
like,
it's like
he was
everyone
like so like
that likes
cheerful,
those posts
like
on Facebook to send prayers.
yeah, it's just like
Just
good luck,
thumbs up.
Clarence,
yeah.
or good luck,
Hands
Frederick.
together emoji. Good luck, Clarence.
Anyways, the next scene
Frederick.
is the police station. It's really crazy there.
Well, I hope so.
Like
There's-
any movie, any Detroit police station in a movie, it's like hectic. There's people yelling at each other. The criminals are just like off the walls, like fighting back the cops in the front of the police station, and they're beating up the criminals and shit. But and of course the captain always has to be the, you know, the tough guy that don't take no shit. But here comes the hero of the story, aka we find out later is Robocop, Murphy, who transfers in, which he just transferred into like the worst fucking city ever.
Oh, dude, if you were a cop and you realize you got transferred to Detroit, you'd be like,
You're
what?
like,
Not even that.
you're
just
like a little kid. Yeah.
I didn't even that. Be like, what did I do?
As I realize it's not a video podcast, so I'm like, yeah, like a little kid.
Yeah, my friends are like, who did I piss off?
The police are talking about like striking because of all the police deaths and it's unsafe for their job, which is understandable if one dude killed 31 cops in Detroit. But which I feel like it's his posse is like 6 dudes, and I'm surprised that it takes Robocop like 1 day to find all 6 dudes and basically get rid of them.
Well, it doesn't need to.
But it
sleep, it's a
doesn't.
robot.
It takes so long for like the cops have been like searching for him for such a long time and they haven't found him yet. But like literally 1 day, RoboCop comes in and he's just like,
I got it.
it doesn't even see him like using like, at least the new one when he's like solving it. It like goes into like the details of like how he figured out his own death.
Yeah, it's like
how
he just
he-
walked around corners
And like he
found
could
people.
like use the video cameras to like track
recognize
the people and
people,
stuff.
yeah.
It doesn't show any of
No,
that.
he
Literally,
walked around,
RoboCop's just
kills
like,
people.
oh, he uses the mainframe, looks up the guys that like are associated with like the one guy that kills him, and then just walks out of the police station and starts finding them. But yeah, so Murphy's in. The cops are talking about striking.
Even Deadpool does a better job tracking people down.
Where's Francis?
Deadpool, one at a time, just keep going back and forth, finding people in different areas. RoboCop, like, all right, found everyone. Now, oh, look at this. I'm going to kill them in the next, like, 30 minutes. All of them, all at once.
I find
No
one
sleep
guy.
till Brooklyn.
Oh my god. Oh my god. And
Sorry.
so the cops are talking about striking, and the captain comes in.
They don't need them. They got RoboCop.
Not yet.
Well,
He's not.
they get them.
Yeah, but
Might as well let them strike.
they're talking about striking. The captain walks in. Apparently Fredericks died or whatever. Captain's like, we don't strike, we're cops. Kind of true, but like, if one dude killed 31 of you, you probably should get some help. Like, how has like the military or like somebody else, like FBI or somebody, not come in to help the Detroit police
Because it's
department?
Detroit.
It's because OCP, we find out OCP is helping them. But,
Yeah.
well, the one guy at OCP is helping them. But,
Jeremiah, did he kill all 30 cops in 1 day?
I don't know. It didn't say, but I'm just guessing.
He
Like,
probably just has a track record, and his total is up to 31.
Okay.
He's in one
it's like
event.
marking it on
Yeah.
his arm. He's like, whoa. It's 32, guys. You gotta keep.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's what.
Shit, I lost count.
That makes me wonder, because if it's something like it happened in one shot, okay, it makes sense why Robocop, they start going ahead with Robocop. But if this is something over years, like, that makes sense. It's Detroit. He's just racked up a big enough count.
It's probably within 1 year
Yeah, but-
span.
But still, like one dude killing 31 cops. There's
Jeez,
people
one
in
person
like
kills
military
one cop.
situations
Yeah.
that haven't
Fucking
had 31
game
kills.
on.
So like that's
Yeah.
why it's like surprising that one dude has confirmed kills of 31 targeted police. Like they didn't go into like innocent people he's killed.
Yeah.
It's just literally cops.
Okay.
But like I said, OCP is talking about making an update on the city and like eliminating crime. So the one like second in command to the CEO or whatever, I think it's like the advisory president or vice president or something like that. He introduces his robot, which is just like a big clunky sentry that's just like walking in, and like I want to know how he got it onto that floor, like how they had big enough elevators for that robot, because we see later the robot can't climb stairs,
My biggest enemy.
which I feel is a very like
Poor design choice.
yeah, because like the bad guy could just
They
go
put it
inside
together
a
in the
building.
hallway.
He could just go inside a building, climb the stairs, and the robot can't get him.
Ha 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 ha.
But yeah, they unveil this like this big clunky robot. It's walking around. They go to give like a demonstration on how he disarms people. So they just call up one of the board members and give him a gun, which just is funny to me that like in their one office at all times, because we see it later on in their office, in the boardroom office, they keep a loaded Desert Eagle just in the office.
It's Detroit.
It is true, but like still like they're on like they have like all this security and now robots that they later have guarding the freaking building, and
But they still have a deagle.
they still have a Desert Eagle in their office or in the boardroom or meeting room or whatever.
Gotta keep working.
But anyways, the robot malfunctions because the guy drops his gun immediately. It doesn't register and just fucking blows him away. Like how did they explain that to the dude's like family or like to the cops? Like we built a robot, it killed somebody. We're not at fault.
Yeah, you are.
It
You
just
built
like
it.
just like shot this dude like 30 times in the chest. I'm pretty sure you're at fault. And then they keep the robot around.
Why
Like
not? Well, as you know, it's successful in killing people.
well, yeah, it's successful in like not being able to function right. It's one duty.
To be fair, it did do what it was programmed to do.
Kill.
Yeah.
Just the wrong
Well, kill
person.
people with guns. Unfortunately, if
Yep.
you get rid of your gun, you're not liable anymore.
Yeah.
You're
And
not
this is how
read.
we-
You're not read as innocent anymore.
And that's how we go back to swords. Because of this robot.
Yeah. So, this other guy that wants to move up in the company at OCP, Bobby, decides to, after this incident, decides to pitch an idea to the CEO about Robocop. And they're walking through the halls talking about how everything's set up and all the designs are done. Now we just need a test subject. Dun dun dun. Cuts to Murphy
A new guy.
flipping his gun around like he's like in a western or whatever. Apparently he does that because of like his kid saw a TV show and the guy in the TV show does it, so he apparently learns it. But like any of these cops in this movie have like no police training whatsoever, because they're like the typical like 80s TV cops. Like
Well, I mean, they literally just
One
had to
arm,
restaff
like,
31 spots.
one-
So
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
one
There's,
outstretched
there's
arm.
31 vacancies.
Yeah, watch Murphy. Robocop was a mailman before.
no wonder he knows how to
That'd
track
be real.
people.
That'd be
he
You
knows
know the
every-
addresses.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that makes sense. Guys, we solved it. RoboCop was a mailman. Before,
He has everyone's addresses
before-
memorized from his routes. They just all happen to be on his route.
They all live in one house.
He would say his same line to them when he dropped off mail. Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
God damn it.
Oh god. But no, yeah. He flip his gun around like he was like in a western. But every time like him or his partner Lois later, they're like entering a room. Just one hand on the gun, just outstretched arm and just like just the most like buffoonery stuff. Like they're like stumbling over shit and like just don't look like police officers whatsoever. But then again, I mean he's a
They
mailman,
probably
so
I love how we just accepted.
Yeah.
Murphy's a mailman.
RoboCop's
Yeah,
a
might
mailman.
as well.
Explains so much.
That's how he remembered how to get home. It's like that wasn't his actual home. He never had a wife and kid. It
No.
was just like somebody
He
he
found a
stalked.
family that didn't have a father. And he
Yeah.
joined them.
It's like, oh, Mrs. Robinson, here's your mail today.
I like the idea of just RoboCop. Like, I'm your dad now.
Robocock.
I said RoboCop.
It sounded like Robocock.
That's something he doesn't have.
I know, apparently, because there are two
I mean,
main.
it could be behind the metal
That's
diaper.
the. Is
Behind
that
the
the porn?
copies?
Yeah, is that
Yeah.
the porno for it?
RoboCop. Oh, guarantee you, there's probably a porno
Not
called
this
RoboCop.
again. We deal with Jurassic Park.
Every episode.
Jurassic
we're
Park.
gonna-
Now we got RoboCop.
Oh my
I guarantee you,
God.
there's probably a parody somewhere on the internet of that.
Yeah.
There has to be.
There has
who
to
who
be.
wouldn't have?
And he's a mailman.
I'm here to deliver justice.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Oh God, I feel
No! Don't look this up.
I have to. I'm so
Oh
curious.
my god.
He's gonna
Dead or
get. He's gonna
alive.
get. He's gonna get a really weird.
That's the best
Uh,
ever.
Dead
I
or
swear
alive,
to God.
you're coming
If
with
there
me.
isn't a porno, you need to make one and have
Guys,
the person say that dead or alive,
guys,
you're coming with me.
let's start our Kickstarter right now. Hashtag Dead or Alive, you're coming with me. Hashtag Robocock.
Right here, RoboCop to the rescue.
Comp?
Comp.
RoboCop to the rescue.
Okay.
Oh God, this is so weird.
Turn it off!
Yeah,
Why
no.
are you watching it?
I'm not watching it. I just saw it still
Oh,
there.
why
I was
are
like,
you-
oh!
Why are your pants down right now? No, I'm just kidding.
And this is why we don't do video podcasts. 'Cause I don't want to wear pants.
Ah. Dead or alive.
All right,
That
yeah.
was a dark turn. Anyway, back to Mailman Murphy.
Yeah, back to Murphy. So they get a call about a robbery. The robbery is Clarence. They like robbed looks like an armored truck or something. But when they robbed it, they accidentally burned all the money, or burned up most of the money. So they're not too happy about it. But there's a car chase, a shootout. The one guy's like shot and like out of ammo or something. So, you know what they decide to do? His buddies decide to toss him out of the window onto Murphy and Lois's car. And just have to be like the worst friends ever. Like instantly. Who would it be? Who would it be that we toss out of the car?
Ricky.
Yeah, we would toss out my brother.
That's not even a thought.
Before he
And if
ran
he's
out of
not there-
bullets.
if he's not there, we pick him up and then throw him out of the car.
Yeah.
We swing by his house.
Hey, we need you
Well,
to come with us.
if we don't know where he lives, we could just shout it back to Robocop. Hey, where does he live?
Yeah, find this guy for us.
But
We know where
yeah,
he is.
I know.
so the shootout, they think they got away. They're in like an abandoned warehouse. But Murphy and Lois find them. They're running around the warehouse trying to find exactly where they are. And here, Lois finds a dude peeing and tells him to put his hands up and turn around. And the dude just turns around. He's like, You want me to zip that up? The stuff in this with the criminals is the funniest shit because all of them are super weird. Like later on, I was talking to Mason earlier. Later on, there's this woman like about to be like the guys are like gonna try and rape her or something like that, and before like anything, they like go up to her and the one guy's holding her and the other guy's like, "You got really long hair. I'm gonna cut your hair. I'm gonna cut your hair." And he's like, the girl's like screaming or whatever, and he's like, "I'm cutting your hair." Like, where did they find these freaking criminals? Did they just like go to juvie at like 6 and just like never leave?
Again, Detroit.
Detroit. You're saying if I go to Detroit, I'm gonna get my hair cut?
You might.
You might.
Shit, might be cheaper.
Or, yeah. Sure.
Have you been to Detroit?
No, I actually haven't been to Detroit.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, I'd like to go there once. It's my vacation next year.
You know, I did always say I wanted to go visit a third world country.
Detroit. Detroit.
Oh god.
I'm just gonna go to Detroit just so I can say that once. Detroit.
Okay.
Oh god.
Alright, what the fuck?
Fucking.
The jokes of Detroit.
So Detroit?
So Detroit.
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 Detroit. Clarence.
Murphy.
Mailman. All right.
Robocop.
Ro, you're coming with me.
Dead or alive.
Dead or alive. You
Dead
gotta
or
have the
alive.
dead or alive because it just makes it 10 times
Well, it's-
more fucked up.
Either way, it's fucked up because he's a robot. Or he's got a Robocop.
Partially human.
I don't know.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
We're not gonna think about this
Yeah.
one too
Well,
much.
yeah, we're gonna get off of this.
'Cause
Let
I
us know how the video goes later.
Yeah.
No, I'm not watching this video. I saw Snowfair like, nope.
I don't know what he's gonna do later.
It was like an automatic save. Archived.
And bookmark.
Oh god. Send it to Ricky. He'll watch it for us.
Oh god, that's what we'll
Just
do.
change the name. Don't tell him what it is. But hey, can you review this tape for us?
I saw this YouTube video. I think it's a really funny parody.
He would end up watching the entire thing and be like, "That was dick."
Was it Robo?
Was the guy Robo or was it just the...
But I do feel like you need to watch it just to see if he does say that line.
I have homework now.
Shit.
Yes, you do.
Shit. Yeah, next episode, give us the
The detailed scoop.
update on Robocop.
I feel like this is gonna be a thing now. Every time we talk about it, we'll find the porn parody, and I have to watch it and critique it or some shit.
I feel like
That's
there's
a good
some that we
idea.
won't, but yeah, that would be funny. So
We
you gotta
probably
get
won't
on.
do that.
You gotta get on Jurassic Pork and then Robocop.
Tombstone.
Yeah,
If we ever do that one.
Tombstone.
I don't really want to watch it.
Predator. No,
Bro,
wait, no, don't. Don't.
Instantly, Mason's like, wait, I regret this.
I'm
regret
not
this.
watching the Alien one.
Alien.
He-
I'm not watching that.
yeah.
Rambo.
Rambone.
Ah.
Oh god, why does it get off on
I
this
don't know.
stupid topic? But
Because the names are just hysterical in themselves.
oh my
Yeah.
god,
Fucking Robocop.
I should have just left. That would be my best line for this whole
Yeah.
series of
Could you end it at
episodes.
that?
Yeah,
Like, we got other things to do now.
I have research.
yeah. This is our last episode. We're getting into the porn business.
Because
Let's
clearly,
not do that.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
clearly we know what we're doing though. Like we're coming up with all these names. Like names are half the problem when it comes to parodies.
Not really.
Just shoot them outside the window of your house.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Bad inside joke, but never invite people over to your house, Mason.
Oh god, back to Robo.
Yeah, back to RoboCop. Anyways, they're running around the warehouse.
Does the dude actually zip up?
No.
No.
Well, like off screen maybe, but like it's weird because he says the line
does
of
it just
"Should
cut?
I zip up?" and like they're like staring at each other, him and Lois, and then like Lois looks down, and then he like punches her and like knocks her off like this balcony or whatever, and like so she's like unconscious at the time.
To be fair, hell of a sneak attack. It's like, do I need to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Murphy finds like 2 of the bad guys. He shoots one of them, holds the other one at gunpoint, and then here it was like a trap all along, and they surround him. And Clarence comes in, holds Murphy to the ground, shoots Murphy's hand off, like just obliterates his one hand. Which is just, I thought that was a very interesting take, and I didn't remember that movie being like as like graphic or like showing like some of this stuff. There was a lot more blood than I expected in the movie, but it was just bravo. Like, I didn't think it was like a better. I thought it better portrayed his death than the new one where he just dies of a car explosion.
Yeah, but at least that justifies the whole entire body.
Yeah, but
he dies from his hand.
I'm pretty
bleeding out, and they give him a whole new body.
Well, no, they shoot that they then shoot Murphy like a billion times with shotguns, and somehow and then once to the side of the head.
Oh yeah.
And then he's still alive somehow.
Because plot.
Yeah. Well, he has to be. He has to be the strong survivor.
Robocop.
And like the new one, like there's like an explosion or whatever, but I think the new one was like rated PG-13 or something. So like it wasn't the same feel.
It wasn't
like
as graphic.
Yeah. But yeah, so they shoot him a bunch of times with shotguns. They shoot him like in the head, but it's like on the side, so it's not direct center. Mm-hmm. And they're rushing him into the hospital. He's like replaying some memories and stuff like that. They call him dead. The next scene is like literally like flashes of like a screen of some sort, and basically they're like talking about if they should cut his other arm off or whatever and make him fully robotic, which they do. Like at least like the new one kind of like saved like some parts or whatever.
The new one's more of a cyborg than it is.
Yeah, the old one they literally just like kept his like face and like his memories in his brain or something like that, and like got rid of everything else. But then there's like a couple more flashes of like them doing tests with his handshake, which apparently Robocop's handshake can just break every bone in your hand. And then like a holiday party where like one of the people is like super drunk and kisses him or something like that. And then it takes it to the unveiling of Robocop at the police station. And all the police officers are like little kids like lining up at the fence or whatever, trying to see if they can see Robocop or whatever.
See, I find like all in that scene, like all the police officers are like getting to see the new Robocop. Like, you do realize it's replacing you, right? Like, it's taking your job.
Yeah, well, like that was the funny thing, is that was the original intent. The cops were like okay with Robocop.
Well, yeah.
And then in the second and third one, they never replaced the cops with any robots.
No.
Which was just, I mean, it was nice, but like it was just like their original intent was to replace the police force with Robocops.
Makes it safe.
So that then they could obliterate crime in the city. But no, that doesn't happen. And actually, if you think about it, Robocop didn't even do his job, because the second movie, Detroit's still in chaos.
Detroit's still Detroit.
Yeah. And I think the third one, it's a little bit better, but there's still like a lot of stuff or something like that. But the third one was weird because I didn't remember if it takes place in Japan or if it is in Detroit still and the Japanese are in Detroit. Because there's like some sort of Japanese version of Robocop, but he looks all human.
So the off-brand,
and so like Robocop's pretty jealous about that, I'm sure, because he just has his face stretched.
So you're telling me it's the Japanese knockoff version of Robocop?
Well, he loses, so yeah.
How does the knockoff? Huh.
Robocop was like the most like immobile thing ever, and he still beats all of them. It's like the Terminator versus any of the newer generations of the Terminator, like
this
the
T-1000 versus T-3000.
Yeah. He finds a way to win because he is Arnold. But
no, it's because the contract says he has to win.
But yeah, so they have the unveiling. of Robocop at the police station. They show that he has a tracking device, and then they go over his. They're checking his system for his targeting, and then to make sure that he knows his prime directives, which are serve the public trust, protect the innocent, and uphold the law. And then there's directive number 4, which is classified, which we find out later is literally he can't arrest any high official of OCP, which is just they put it in there for a reason, but it's just like assholes. Like, that's not upholding the law.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, foreshadowing for sure. Then the next scene is literally all the cops on the shooting range. Robocop has this big ass 3-shot burst pistol or whatever, and it's just hitting every target, and they're like, oh my god, look at his gun, and Bobby, whatever, it's just holding his fingers in his ears like an old cartoon, and dynamite's about to blow, explode, and he's losing his shit.
I'm sorry, just the idea of oh my god, look at his gun, and it being Robocop. That's where his dick went.
We're on the real movie, not the parody we're coming up with.
He's really excited to watch this
No,
later,
he's
isn't he?
what the fuck? I told you, he saved that shit. He saw me a screensaver.
But, anyways, at the end of him shooting at the gun range, he does the flip or whatever and puts it in his holster. Lois sees it, and that's kind of how you know it's actually Murphy. She knows it's Murphy. Before, you kind of know. It's him dying, and then the next scene is
as an audience, you know who it is, but that's how in character world they figure out.
Yeah. It's how they figure out it's Murphy. Basically, then all of a sudden, Robocop gets in his car, drives off to his first mission, where there's a robbery at some shop, and this guy's shooting up the place, and Robocop comes in, and he's shooting Robocop, and he comes over and just bends the gun like it's silly putty, which is just super funny, because he hits the guy flies into some beer cans, and then he just walks out. So he didn't even arrest the criminal or kill the criminal that was there. He just bent the dude's gun and gave him a bitch slap, and then was
sent a message,
the Robocop bitch slap, and then just left. And then after that was the crime that I was talking about before, where it was these 2 guys harassing this girl, and one of them's cutting her hair or whatever, and then the other one makes some stupid joke about he wanted some hair from downstairs or something like that, and then that's where they get a little rapey with her. Robocop comes, shoots the guy in the dick, and then he's like, if I can't have one, neither can you.
Poetic justice.
But shoots the guy in the dick. Once the other guy surrenders. Once again, he doesn't, he just leaves. But before he leaves, the girl runs over to him and hugs him. She's like, oh, you saved me, whatnot. And he is so robotic and cold to people that it's kind of funny, because she's hugging him and stuff, and he's he says that she's in shock, and he's like, you're in shock. I will notify a rape crisis center immediately. It's she's thanking you, and he's just
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense in the robots at that time, but it's just so funny seeing how robotic he is about everything. But anyways, then he shows up at a hostage situation where apparently this guy held the mayor hostage or whatever, which is just funny, because now in this world the president is in space free floating because something's wrong with the spaceship. The mayor of Detroit is being held hostage by a disgruntled employee, and now we have Robocops just walking the street, leaving criminals just beaten up and their dicks shot off.
Sounds
this
like
is
Detroit.
Yeah, once again, sounds like Detroit. Oh boy, that Detroit again. But yeah, the guy's holding the mayor hostage or whatever, and like he's like asking for like stuff, and like the like SWAT um, chief or whatever is like negotiating with him, and he's just like being like kind of sarcastic with him, and so the guy can kind of tell, and so he's gonna like off somebody, and RoboCop just sneaks up behind him with thermal vision and just like breaks through the wall and just grabs him, and it's just like the funniest shit. And then like he bitch slaps him again. The guy flies out the window and like lands right in front of the press, just like RoboCop killing some people with bitch slaps every day. Then the news starts. It goes into another news report where they're talking about RoboCop and like how he's like cleaning up crime and stuff like that. Which technically
He's stopping current crime.
he's stopping current crime. One dude was definitely arrested. The guy that flew out, the guy that was holding the mayor hostage. The other three people, we're not too sure about. One guy's probably in the ER trying to get his dick sewn back on.
As like RoboCop is going out and dealing with these criminals, there's just two cops you got.
There needs to be like, they're like, all right,
following
follow
in
him.
a cruiser.
They just have like a school bus. They're like, follow him, just pick up anybody.
Get in the paddy wagon.
But then on the news they introduced this other game where it's like this family playing, like it looked like an extreme version of Battleship, but it was called Nukem, the home game. like I said, I love the commercials in every one of these like
Just
news
think
feeds.
if any of that shit actually like happened.
He's like, oh, like the one little kid's like, oh, Iraq's like invading whatever, and then the dad's like, I'm gonna destroy you all.
This is a real weird game of Risk.
Yeah, it's just really fun. Like I love the inventive stuff they came up with for this movie.
Was it inventive, or were they just predicting the future?
Maybe. I mean, there's not a Nukem game, but I think it would be pretty interesting. We're back at OCP. Bob's talking with some guy, and they're talking about Dick Jones, who was the guy that had that. I just see Fernando laughing, so now I lost my train of thought. Dick Jones. But he was the guy that introduced the original clunky robot that shot one of their employees, and like he's like still like the president or something. He's like one below the CEO. And like he's in the one stall, and Bob and this other guy are talking shit about him. And like everybody else in the bathroom somehow knows that he's in there like taking a shit or something, and they're like running away. And anyways, he comes out of the stall, and the other guy that Bob's talking to is like, oh, I gotta get back to work, and literally just pisses his pants and runs away. And it's just like, okay, dude, like,
good job.
Yeah, like you could have probably just stayed there one more second to like finish and then like zip up. Like, you didn't have to piss your pants and run away. But, anyways. Dick Jones, yeah, haha. Funny name. He is kind of a dick the entire movie.
Boo.
He is. I think they even make that joke in the movie. He's kind of the ultimate bad guy, which we don't find out till like a little later. But he's talking about how like he'll be he'll be like CEO one day once the CEO passes away, and for Bob to like not cross him. And yeah, then cuts to Murphy in a chair, or RoboCop in a chair, starting to have a nightmare, basically going through the scenes of his death. And he like gets up out of his chair, starts walking away, and like Lois stops him in the hallway and like says his name and tries to get him to remember who he is and stuff, and which then just jogs his memory, and just starts driving around. He's like driving around, all while the one of the bad guys that killed him is like robbing a gas station, and RoboCop sees him from the highway, or he just sees a robbery in progress. He doesn't know it's this guy. Sees a robbery in progress, pulls down there to like see what it is, and like says his line, which he says earlier in the movie when he's not Robocop. And so one of the guys that killed him earlier on, then, like, he's like, oh, no, we killed you already. Like, this can't be you or whatever. Starts shooting at him, blows up the freaking gas station. Robocop shoots his bike, and the dude goes, like, fucking flying. Brings him in. This is the only guy Robocop is actually arrested. Brings him in, and then goes to, like, the data or what, computers, whatever you want to say, mainframe. His mother, if you want to say that, downloads data of, like, the associates of this one guy that killed him, finds Clarence's name, finds the other guys on that list, and then starts to remember his death, who he is, whatnot. Then he drives to his old house, which is for sale. What was kind of different about the newer RoboCop is that they showed he interacted with his family, and I think he interacts with his family in the second one and maybe the third one a little bit, but they, like, made them more present in the new RoboCop. But he's walking around, he gets pissed off and, like, punches, like, apparently there's no, like, in-person salespeople for the house. It's just a robot or, like, a recording of somebody, and you could just walk throughout the house. Some shit. But so he's pissed. He heads to a club, just a random club. Doesn't say, like, why he's going there. You just know it's because one of the bad guys there. That or RoboCop's just like, gonna do the robot. Gonna do the robot. Boop, 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 boop,
For those of you who realize we're just staring at Steven, just shaking your head no.
You're both smiling. You just didn't want to laugh. You know it. Anyways, he goes to. Now you're just trying to keep straight faces. Watch this.
I'll laugh, but
dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Calm down, Robocock.
Robocock. Hey, I'll take that as a compliment. Just kidding. Anyways, he finds one of the guys that killed him at this dance club. He's beating him up. Basically, everybody's just, like, high or drunk or whatever, and just doesn't really notice this big-ass robot beating the shit out of this guy. He tries to kick, like, the guy tries to kick Robocop in his Robocock, and, yeah, he's just a metal dude, so he just broke his foot, but, yeah. He brings him in, then Clarence stops by Bob's house. That's the next scene, is Bob's with these two girls doing some cocaine, living the life. Because Detroit, they don't have drug testing for, those people.
Well, he doesn't give a shit.
And, Clarence stops by his house, shoots him in the legs. And here, this is where we find out that he's been working for Dick Jones the entire time. And so they leave him with a grenade. His whole house blows up. Just one grenade for one dude. Make it look like an accident.
It was a gas house.
It would have looked more like a common break-in if you just shot him, because it's Detroit. But instead, they blew him up. So Bob's dead. And then it cuts to a drug operation that Clarence is trying to work over with this one dude. And here, Robocop somehow finds the drug operation, I'm guessing from he off-screen interrogated the two guys that he found. And all you see is him just busting down this big door.
Record established. Robocop was a mailman, so it was on his route. That's how we knew where to go.
True. The drug operation was on his route. And so, yeah, he busts down the door, and this is where it starts kicking off for Robocop, where he just starts obliterating people. Basically, everybody... What's really funny is every one of those bad guys was a terrible shot. They got like 20 bad guys with like shotguns or like machine guns, and they all start shooting at Robocop at one time. And literally you just see like the bullets like hitting the ground near him or whatever,
Yeah, just
and like
reflecting off.
only like 4 bullets actually hit him. I'm like, one, they're not gonna do anything to him, but two,
Aim for the flesh.
at least aim for like at least hit him. Like
Yeah.
that could be one thing that you do, is at least at this point they don't know that it's not gonna work, but they're still missing him. Like if he was a regular cop, he would have got hit 4 times, so he still would have killed like probably 8 dudes before being injured enough where he couldn't fire anymore. But so then RoboCop busts out his gun, starts shooting them all up. Just classic, just one arm, just like across the chest or whatever. I think he even does it behind the back, maybe under the leg.
God.
That would have actually been funny. I would have laughed if RoboCop just like, maybe like they like hit him in the knee and he's like down on one leg and just like,
Brah, joke's on you.
Brah.
This was a trap. Ha 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 ha.
yeah,
Bang, bang.
haha. Then he just starts beating up. He finds Clarence, starts beating up Clarence. Then he reminds him that he's a cop and he can't kill him. He has to arrest him. But like,
He's killed before.
well, apparently Clarence has like, no gun on him, so he's technically like
a civilian.
yeah. Well, not a civilian, but just like giving up. So he's not a threat or anything. Clarence goes to jail. He's then on his way to OCP because Clarence, of course, rats out Dick Jones. So he tries to arrest Dick Jones, and this is when you find out Directive 4 that literally he can't arrest people or high ranks of OCP, which is just like, oh damn, how's RoboCop gonna get him later?
Oh, see, my thought process was like, okay, RoboCop can't arrest OCP because they created him. There are other cops.
Yeah.
The information is out there.
Yeah, exactly. And
So
that's
why
what I
not
thought
come
was
to
funny.
like, okay, RoboCop do it, but I'm a cop with RoboCop, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah, but then again, you have to worry about that big robot, because then to get rid of RoboCop and to get rid of the information that he has in his head implicating Dick Jones, where also Dick Jones then talks about to RoboCop, who's recording him, about how he killed Bob and like all this stuff. So not only did Clarence implicate Dick Jones, Dick Jones implicated Dick Jones.
I just found I was like, just asking RoboCop, are you wearing a wire? I am a wire.
Like, what do you think? Your company designed me. Like, I am recording everything you say. But he brings in the big clunky robot, starts shooting up RoboCop, which this is the only thing so far that has actually damaged RoboCop, is like the bullets from this
Well, that
thing.
makes sense, because the bullets on that thing shooting is clearly not like standard 9mm rounds.
Yeah, it's a little bit more military grade armor piercing rounds, something like that. But which one of the things that I wanted to talk about was that the fight scene with that big robot, because it's like almost like it's not CGI, but it's like claymation almost.
Are you sure? I thought that scene was done like the way they did the old kaiju movies. It was literally 2 dudes in the suits just going, "Argh."
I don't know, but like the bigger robot looked like it was almost like how not claymation as in they made clay replicas of it, but like how they did claymation.
Well, that's like take a picture of the scene and then
yeah, take a picture of the scene, then take another one.
Yeah.
And then they moved it really fast because it looks just really like it looks almost
Choppy.
like that. Yeah.
I think what it probably is it's probably a case of it's the 80s.
Yeah.
That is a very, very crappy costume, and it's just how it worked out with the person controlling the costume.
Yeah. Oh, well, Mason's probably watching RoboCop right now. He's just like...
No.
It looks so big.
Mason's like, I'm going to have to pick one of these up on the way home.
Ew.
But, yeah. Anyways, RoboCop stumbles down the stairs. This is where we find out that the other robot can't walk downstairs because he tries and just falls, and then it's just like a turtle on its back.
Yep.
Just can't get up.
A turtle can eventually.
Which I want to know I want to see this. I wanted to see the scene where like the OCP workers have to help pick up the robot and like carry
good
it down
luck.
the stairs, because it's still like on the stairs. So either way, it has to come up or down the stairs somehow.
Just drag it.
Yeah, push on.
Just push it. Yeah. Push it down or drag it downstairs.
Be careful with it.
Yeah,
Just push it down like a flight of stairs.
Chuck that shit.
But
I like how my first thought, like seeing that scene, like, oh god, I could have designed better. Just have it so the legs rotate so it comes back up. I'm like, no.
or design a Robocop from the beginning. Like they had the design, which is funny. It's just the one guy didn't want to share it to make the other guy, Dick Jones's status rise in the company.
Yeah.
But to be fair, he had good reason to.
Yeah, because Dick Jones is like,
a dick.
yeah. Oh, that time we get a boo boom. Before we get a boo.
Boo.
Anyways, the robot. While this is happening, Dick Jones calls the cops and basically like, "Help! RoboCop's gone mad. He's trying to kill me." And like, so like, RoboCop gets to the bottom of the building or the parking garage, and somehow within that 5 minutes or those 3 minutes, all those cops showed up. Which, if they had that response time, RoboCop was not needed.
I was about to say that. I was just like, if the response time was that quick, clearly Detroit didn't need RoboCop
Yeah.
if the response time was that good.
Well, like, I was a little bit confused by that scene because I didn't know if they were working for OCP or if it was SWAT. Because it was the SWAT leader that was doing the microphone earlier on when the mayor was kidnapped, which OCP wouldn't send out their own security
For the mayor.
for them. They might if they want, like, a
Shadow.
buddy-buddy relationship. But those people wouldn't be in charge.
Yeah.
So it's very weird that, like, it's just funny that they got there so fast, but, like, I guess it was the SWAT because the regular cops did not want to shoot RoboCop. They're like, he's a cop, he's one of us, let's not shoot him.
So
The other
everyone
guy's
who's
like,
union-
we have orders,
He went
shoot him.
So everyone who's union in the cops like, don't shoot him, he's a cop. Everyone who's not
He's
union.
gonna join us on the strike line.
Probably just had him on their pay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's probably
But-
what it is.
something
Or
like that.
they're
But
tired of RoboCop making so much work for them because they had to go get dead bodies and shit.
The guy lives
And
the
then
well,
they
I'm
were
tired of
taking it.
following your. That's why they're there so fast. Is because
They've
they're
been
already,
following RoboCop.
they've been already
Let's see
following
what
RoboCop.
does next.
Yeah,
I was going crazy. Shit, maybe we
fuck.
should try to stop him.
We should do our job.
Dad's going crazy. But anyways, he's in the parking garage. He falls down a couple levels, and Lois saves him. And she like takes him to another warehouse to like help him like get fixed up or whatever. Oh, while that's happening, they somehow free Clarence. Like I get like making his like OCP making his bail or whatever. I get if this was his only thing was a drug runner and like attacking RoboCop, but the dude killed 31 cops.
And there's evidence of it.
One thing is when RoboCop drops him off at the precinct, they're like, "What's his crime?" The fucking news said at the beginning of this movie he killed 31 cops. How do you not know this?
Maybe they were just hired.
The
Okay.
captain was just hired.
31 vacancies.
You never know.
He was. It's just like Rambo,
Maybe
where
you
he
know
worked
he
at
was
the
actually Clarence.
he
Maybe
worked
they
at the
actually never had
grocery
a photo
store.
of him.
But yeah, so they're like, when RoboCop drops him off earlier, he's like, he's a cop killer, and it's like, how did that guy like make it to his jail cell without being worse or beaten up worse? Two, I don't care what kind of money that company has, there's no way they'd set a fucking bail or bond for him if he killed 31 cops alone. Like, there's just no way.
Hey, you gotta set a
But
bond for someone.
I get.
but it was definitely not worth what Clarence was worth to OCP. Or
Probably what it was.
Other
is that
than
he
implicating
probably
Dick
had
Jones.
enough pull or had enough information.
I mean,
on
they
other
own
people.
the police station, which is one thing, but still, like,
But he probably had like other like people's power. He probably had info or dirt.
like
or
if I was the
something.
captain or something like that, I would have just been like, I would just killed Clarence in the thing and been like, oh, sorry, like,
Drop my gun.
Robocop brought him in here bleeding, and he died before we could process him. Oops.
No.
Oops, sorry. But yeah, so Clarence somehow gets out of jail, so he's free. He's in Dick Jones's office. Basically, Dick Jones is just like, "Oh, I want you to kill Robocop." And then Clarence is like, "Oh, he's not my problem." I mean, he is. Robocop's gonna just keep coming after you because you fucking killed him. Like, he's not just gonna let it go. He beat the shit out of you, and you didn't really remember who he was. So
He's going to get you and find you.
exactly. He's
Better
gonna-
move to a
dead or
different route.
alive.
You're coming with me.
Yeah, he's coming with him.
Dick Jones.
Stick Jones. But yeah, so basically Clarence then says that he needs bigger weapons if he's going after Robocop. Dick Jones gives him the tracking device to find Robocop. They basically give him a 50 cal that has like explosive rounds on it and like a scope that they never use. They just hip fire this 50 cal, which is just funny but like kind of incredible too. And they give him like 4 of them, or like 4 or 5 of them for him and his buddies.
Well, he's a fucking machine.
I can see Robocop taking one like 50 cal and being like, and
Yeah, so like they
And that's why they
basically
gave him 4.
you get Clarence shows up to like basically it's like Mad Max out in Detroit again, because now the cops are on strike. So like there's no cops working. It's like just like a raiding spree, which would happen even if it wasn't Detroit. Like
No, it would happen even if there wasn't a strike.
yeah.
so
And
Detroit on a normal Tuesday.
yeah, Detroit on a normal Tuesday. Clarence gets out. The one guy shows up in like the exact car that Clarence is driving, and they're like teasing him. They're like, "Oh, I found one of these too, like right outside the police station." So literally, this dude left the police station in the parking lot. He says he steals a car from the parking lot of the police station. That's like this brand new car. And so Clarence jealously pulls out the 50 cal and fucking blows up the car. But they're like shooting up buildings and shooting up other cars, testing out the guns or whatever. And
Yeah, tools. You want to play with them.
then they're like, "Oh, we need to find Robocop." Like,
You have a tracker.
Yeah,
You're given
they're
a
like-
tracker.
we're gonna go get Robocop now. He's in like the steel mills or something. This is when like it cuts to like Lois and him. Lois is literally sleeping like right next to Robocop. He sees her sleeping. He gets up, pulls out his gun, and just starts shooting at the baby food that she brought for him to eat, because that's his like the only food he's allowed to eat is like this like
Paste
mushed up
thing.
paste
Well, makes sense. He's a robot.
that they say tastes like baby food, so they get him actually baby food later on. But yeah, so she's sleeping and he just pulls out his gun and just starts blasting like right near her. So like obviously she wakes up, and then she helps him like go through trying to readjust his targeting system, because apparently it's off. And at this point, Robocop's helmet, the top of his helmet's off, so this is where we actually get to see his full face, like stretched back and whatnot. Then Clarence shows up and his bunch of goons, and he shows up. There's like a big shootout. Of course, the first guy that like they show up, they pull up, and they get out of the car all with their guns, and they're like looking for Robocop. And here he's like up in the rafters. He's like, "You looking for me?" Like, yeah, of course we're fucking like, no, we were here to kill some other Robo Dick. Like, what? Fucking like, of course they're here for you. But anyways, he goes, "Are you guys here for me?" Just starts shooting. Of course he shoots the black guy first. Like, I feel like Robocop might be a little racist. He's a racist mailman now. they're all shooting at him with the freaking grenade launcher 50 cal or whatever. They cannot hit him, and he's literally just walking at a pace of like 0.5 miles an hour, and they can't hit him with maybe if they weren't hip firing, they could have.
You have a scope, use it.
Even so, they couldn't even get close enough where the blast was hitting RoboCop.
Oh, they're probably freaking the fuck out.
Oh my god, he's all the way up there!
How did he get in the rafters?
He didn't even know we were looking for him.
Looking for me, criminal.
They should have said no and walked away.
Now we're good, shit.
To be fair,
no, we're looking for Lois. Bye.
To be fair, if you were
okay.
that grunt sent to go kill RoboCop, and you look up, you see him in the rafters, you know what? Nah.
I wouldn't go hunt down a robot.
I would, with a 50 cal, I would, but I wouldn't be walking down just
wait
a
for him
center.
to come to you.
Yeah, I would just won't be walking down this big road or whatever, to the center of the mill, out in the open. I'd probably be perched up in the rafters where RoboCop was.
Just imagine you being in the rafters and looking oh shit, RoboCop.
Yeah, but you'd hear him a mile away. All you hear is the ground shakes. It's like Jurassic Park all over again. He has a cup of water near him.
Clever girl.
Oh shit! Don't shine your light at him.
No, this is where we watch RoboCop versus Jurassic Park.
Anyways, they start trying to get RoboCop. He somehow gets down from the rafters in a minute. It would have been funnier watching him walk that fast down the stairs, or just jumping off and landing on his feet. But somehow he's on the ground, and then the somehow they still have the armored truck or van that the money was in from the robbery earlier. And they try and hit RoboCop. He just shoots at them in the window. And somehow, in the middle of this road off to the left is just this big jug that says toxic waste on it. Out of nowhere, this guy hits, he swerves, misses RoboCop, hits the toxic waste, and then just is covered in this shit and just looks like freaking Sloth from the Goonies. Sloth loves RoboCop.
RoboCop gives Sloth Baby Ruth. Baby Ruth!
They're like, what do you want? Baby Ruth! But, oh my god.
I'm so sorry.
So Ricky would be the guy we toss out of the car. Mason would be the guy that turns into Sloth. Anyways, so now the guy that's just covered in toxic waste is running around. His one buddy sees him and just freaks out, obviously, because the guy just looks like a fucking mess. And then Lois and Clarence are in a car chase. Clarence flips his car. As Lois gets out, he just gets out and shoots her at 3 times in the chest. And then RoboCop calls him, and they're in a standoff, and the other bad guy gets up in a crane and is moving this junk over top of RoboCop to drop it on him, all while RoboCop is just oblivious to this. He's a fucking robot, and he can't just hear a freaking crane move or be aware. The dude was off in the he was back further where he could have seen that guy running towards the crane and just probably tried shooting at him. Or just shot Clarence.
Well, if he didn't have a gun, he's still programmed to not shoot him.
He had, I think that guy still had his 50 cal or whatever. He just, instead of shooting RoboCop with the 50 cal, he decided to drop shit on him. But he goes, drops shit on him, he peeks out the window, and of course I'm doing freaking animation over here. Right. He peeks out the window. He's like, Clarence, I got him! All while he does this, Lois crawled over to the 50 cal that Clarence had, laying on the ground, and just fucking blows him up. But that was honestly something that was really kind of funny to me, is that she was crawling. Yeah, it probably hurt a lot to get shot 3 times, but she didn't get shot in the legs. She got shot in the shoulder and
still
the
hurt
hit.
A lot, I guess.
Yeah, apparently enough. But she's crawling through the mud and stuff. gets his 50 cal. The guy's like, Clarence, you look like freaking Forrest from Forrest Gump on like the boat waving. It's like, Clarence, Lieutenant Dan, I see you. Gets blown up by the 50 cal. Robocop's trapped. So Clarence comes over, like tries to like stabs him somehow.
Yeah.
Apparently, bullets can't penetrate this thing, but just
can.
a metal pipe of some sort can. Anyways, he thinks he has him. Robocop pulls out his thing that he uses for collecting data and just stabs him in the throat. So Clarence is dead now. Lois is like alive, but still like shot up. And then like,
and this is how
Robocop's like, don't worry, they'll fix you. They can fix anything. It's like, yeah, because they certainly fixed you. Like, you move a pace of 1 mile an hour tops, and then, like, you don't have any of your human features except for your face, maybe your brain. That's it.
Yeah.
They fixed me.
And this is how we get female Robocop.
He moves the metal pipes off of him, gets in his car, I guess leaves Lois there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it just cuts to him driving
to.
Yeah, but like he doesn't like it doesn't show him calling the cops or like at least waiting till they get there. You actually don't know if Lois is dead in the first one because after what happens at OCP, it literally just cuts to credits.
Yeah.
And so like you don't really get a recap on it. I think she's still alive.
Or maybe she got fixed, like they fixed him.
I think she's in the second one.
I think the cops went on a strike, but the people who were following Robocop were still following.
They must have because they picked her up. They're like, ah, god damn it, we got like 4 bodies and Lois is shot up.
Hey guys, we got a live one.
Oh shit, we can actually like book somebody. Oh damn it, it's Lois. God, freaking Robocop. One guy's burnt to a crisp. The other guy has a hole through his neck. The one guy looks like Sloth from the Goonies. Hey guys, he looks like Sloth from the Goonies.
That one wasn't Robocop.
God, imagine finding that guy and being like if, because he wasn't near
they did find him.
He wasn't
He
near
got picked up by a bunch of hobos.
the other
in the
mailman.
basement.
The other mailman.
And that's how we got the Goonies.
Yeah.
He wasn't near the toxic waste thing at all. So, like, imagine finding that guy and be like, holy fuck, what did Robocop do? What does Robocop have that turned this guy into Sloth from the Goonies?
No one wanted to go after Robocop for that
He's got,
reason.
like, some sort of, like, melting thing.
Yeah.
A melting ray. But, anyways, Robocop heads to OCP, enters the boardroom while they're having a meeting, and the CEO's just like, what's the meaning of this or whatever, and Robocop's like, murder, drugs, whatever, plays the recording of Dick Jones admitting that he killed Bob in front of the board meeting or whatever. Dick Jones is like, you can't believe this? It's a lie. He looked like he looks like any dude on fucking Maury. Like, the lie detector lied. It wasn't me. Baby, it wasn't me. I didn't cheat.
He's a walking
He backs up, then he grabs, like I said before, the freaking Desert Eagle that's still in the boardroom, loaded, grabs that, holds the CEO hostage, and then the best thing of all, like, Robocop can't arrest anybody on the thing, and he says it right as he walks in the boardroom or something, and so they know. So literally the CAO is just like, Dick, you're fired, and just elbows him in the stomach, runs away, and just Robocop blasts him out the freaking window. Like, the deaths at this company are just, like, ridiculous. Like, how is there still OCP in the second one and the third one? Like,
because you got rid of the dick.
Oh my god. Yeah, on Robocop.
To be fair, it's a real fun way. It's like, I can't hurt anyone on the board. Dick, you're fired.
Yeah.
Dick, you're fired. Like, it's still not official. Like, just because you say somebody's
It kind
fired.
of is.
It's the 80s.
The paperwork is not official.
It's not like Robocop had time to run to HR. Okay.
Sharon!
They're like, they get the HR out there. They're like, sign this paper real quick. Okay, you're fired. Robocop, blast him.
I could just see someone at the board be like, Dick, you're dying. Just one person just furiously writing out something.
Dick is fired.
Dick
the
is fired. Signed it.
screenwriter. Yeah.
Dick Jones just waves it like someone
Based on true stories, the person's like, right, and Dick Jones was fired, and then Robocop pulled his gun on Dick Jones. But yeah, so then as soon as he shoots him, the guy flies out the window. Literally, RoboCop ends. It just says RoboCop. It's like a stamp. RoboCop.
So that's
And
the
then,
name of the movie. I thought I was just watching a robot murder people.
Yeah, like, doesn't say anything about Lois. The great thing is that they did have sequels. If they didn't have a sequel,
That'd be hilarious.
it would be a hilarious ending to a movie, and just like, it wouldn't. I don't think it would be as iconic as it was.
To be fair, if RoboCop 1 ended with just that scene, that movie wouldn't be considered an action movie. It'd be a comedy at that point.
Well, yeah, like
back then it was.
I'm gonna say it about the second one. I really liked the second one as a kid because there was more of that robot fighting robot action. But this was once again another funny thing that's like a trope for a lot of these movies is like, oh, they need a brain for the cyborg to test. Well, we can't test it on any of the nice humans because that would be inhumane. So we'll test it on the dead criminals that are completely insane. Nothing can go wrong there. We're going to use their brain to power our robots. But nothing could be wrong with their brain. They were just fucking psychotic.
I feel like there's always one person in like the meeting room just looking at like, is no one going to stop him?
Is literally freaking Igor from Young Frankenstein. There we go. Finally. Young Frankenstein. Yeah, Igor from Young Frankenstein. Was he just getting everybody's brains? Because he just picked the wrong... Abby Normal. Well, this will be good for our humongous Frankenstein-looking dude.
Totally.
But yeah, that's basically the biggest like flaw of that one is they get the fucking murderer that RoboCop kills. They implant his brain into a humongous robot that could kill RoboCop and just everybody. And then on top of it, the dude was addicted to drugs, so they give the robot drugs somehow. Because it still had the brain, so it was feeding it to the brain. Like they were like, yeah.
Well, at that point, yeah, the drug. Just give me all the drugs.
So RoboCop gets baby food, and this other one gets drugs.
This one gets mashed carrots. This one gets hardcore heroin.
Yeah, basically, that's what he was taking. But no, I loved this movie as a kid. I loved the second one a little bit more, like I said, because of that robot fighting robot. And I actually didn't remember the clunky robot that they had in this one being in this one.
I remember.
So when I watched it again, I was like, oh shit, like it's gonna get good.
This thing is here. When does it say I'm programmed to be as obedient as a puppy?
Yeah, like because I remember as a kid I was like, RoboCop's a fucking robot. Like how are they gonna yeah, they have 50 cals, but like he shoots them once with his gun, they get shot technically 3 times.
Yeah.
So like, and it's a big ass gun, so they're just dead. Like
Yeah.
Like what's the big risk for RoboCop? And I mean they find ways in the movie that the humans can like fight back RoboCop.
Yeah,
but,
a hack.
Yeah, but not much where it's like, okay, you actually stood a chance.
Yeah.
Like I was believing that you stood a chance. Now robot versus robot, I'm still betting on RoboCop because it's his movie, but
So yeah, I was thinking he has plot armor.
yeah. It wouldn't be an interesting movie if it just was titled RoboCop Dies.
I'd watch that.
I mean, I watch it, but like, kind of just gives it away.
RoboCop dies. I wonder what it's about.
Wonder what it's about.
And then we realize RoboCop is his son, and then his son becomes a cop, and then his son dies and becomes new RoboCop.
Wait, how can RoboCop have a son?
Before
You
he
watched the
became
porno, didn't you? So they came alive then.
Fucking hate you, Steven. Fucking hate you.
No, that would like I said, I'm not sure if the original series. I think in the second one they introduced his family a little bit, but not too much. But it would have been more like in the newest one, they like the family was like okay with him being RoboCop and whatnot. Like it was, there's like more of like a family dynamic with it.
Well,
And then in the original one,
the
I think I remember that the family was just shit scared of RoboCop and they wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah, you couldn't even shake him on his hand. Yeah, that too.
His face is just like stretched
Stretched
out.
out,
Yeah. Looks like he got liposuction or something. But yeah,
Fucking RoboCop.
RoboCop. No, it was good. I'd definitely like to do like the second or I think the third one would be funny. Like if we skipped the second one and just went to the third one because of that really bad Japanese knockoff. Like the third one was just so bad that they just stopped making RoboCop until they rebooted it.
And they had to get knockoff RoboCop toys to.
Oh my gosh. The Japanese was like, hey, we're tired of just making the RoboCop toys. Let's make a RoboCop movie and the toys.
Hey!
I actually had a RoboCop action figure as a kid.
I didn't.
The side of the leg like popped out, but didn't fit the gun in it where like you could close the leg thing. And then like it had the little spike thing on his hand and you could take his arm off. It was pretty cool. And his I think his like the like
Eyes turned red.
the like red, yeah, the like helmet that he wears, it turned red or whatever. You couldn't take the helmet off,
Thank God.
which I was a little bit upset about.
Because you want to stare at the whole time.
He's better than getting like. Actually, that would have been amusing if they sold the guy that like got in a toxic waste. If they sold that as an action figure, that would have been funny. I would have bought that in a second.
Just a barrel hitting a car and just a guy going.
Yeah, I remember because I really like I said, I liked these movies from like the '80s that were action movies. But like, because I would always, when I was really young, I would have like pretend like the like rubber band guns or whatever, and I would like pretend that I was like
RoboCop.
Arnold Schwarzenegger in like Predator or like Commando.
Well, yeah.
Or
Anytime
Terminator.
you're outside,
But like,
anytime you're in the woods, like, oh man, I'm
Yeah.
like a predator. Hunt this shit, and then you find some like kid down the street, you're like, I hate you. You're the predator. I'm gonna kill you.
you're the predator. You're a predator.
It's a kid, not an old guy down the street.
There was actually-
a very different predator.
Kind of crazy story. There was like the guy that was catty corner to me, to my house or whatever.
Was he a registered sex offender?
He was a predator.
No, but like, okay, so like new people moved into his house.
Oh God.
What
And
did they
in the
find?
basement, they found in like the ceiling of the basement, they found like a bunch of pictures of like child pornography.
Oh
and
my
shit
God,
like
that is
that.
fucking.
And like they
creepy.
gave it to the cops and stuff. And I think he like
Hopefully they.
I think he died like before all this, but like yeah, that was crazy. And he like all the while like my parents knew he was like somewhat creepy, but they didn't know to how extent, so they never let me like play
After
in the
that,
front yard.
You were never allowed to play.
No, I
in
just
his yard.
we literally just found out about this like 2 years ago.
That's
Which is
fucking-
super creepy, like knowing that
weird.
like I grew up right
Next
across
to a
the-
predator.
Yeah, next to a predator. And
I
I had
didn't
woods
have
near my
any of
house, so
that.
he could have just grabbed me from the woods like
Yeah.
that. And yeah, that's pretty creepy.
You
But
sure you didn't live in Detroit?
yeah, no, they don't really have that much. It's
They
more.
don't have
it's-
woods.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
they got robots and
Yeah.
presidents in space.
Robots in President Space and making
but-
hearts.
Yeah, no, RoboCop was never one that you could like really identify as, like with
Nope.
as a kid, like to pretend that you were that much.
All you really need was
'Cause-
like a strainer on your head and you're done.
Oh. Why'd you put a strainer on your head to be
'Cause-
RoboCop?
Because the robot, you don't see your eyes, but you can still see
More
the
like an
strainer.
astronaut.
Yeah, but my arms are fleshy. What about my arms? I'm talking like.
Fucking put aluminum foil on.
I'm
Hey Steven,
talking
come
about-
over. Let's play RoboCop. I'm gonna cut your body up into pieces and put you back together with my toys.
Those little claw grabbers are my new arms.
You're coming
do,
with.
do you want T-Rex and Triceratops? What kind of like?
Do you want
claw
dog
grabber
and
head?
goose?
I want
And then
Godzilla on
And
one
then you're
arm.
gonna have Bud Lightyear's head as yours.
Oh god, gone full like what is it? Blue Mountain State and just taped beer can like a
Yeah.
bunch of beer cans to my arms
Yeah,
or something. No, but yeah, like I was saying, like as a kid, like I could identify with like almost all these action things. Like even Terminator, you could
Yeah.
pretend to be Terminator because it was like still a fleshy outside. But like RoboCop was not one of them that like I ever like
Well,
pretended to be.
Well,
or-
RoboCop also didn't get as popular. As
Oh no, I loved RoboCop as a kid.
No, I get that, but
Like-
I'm talking about like as you grow older, RoboCop then became your go-to. Like Rambo became your go-to. Terminator became your go-to.
I think I've watched RoboCop willingly more times than I've watched Rambo.
To be fair, I think watching RoboCop was like maybe the third time I ever watched RoboCop. I was
Yeah.
like, I remember why I don't watch this movie.
I thought it was great. I love RoboCop. I mean, compared to like all the other ones, it's more interesting. And like they kind of broke, like I said, they broke up the movies with those like news broadcasts with the funny games and shit.
See, that reminds me of fucking Starship Troopers.
Ow,
That's
I love Starship Troopers.
So good.
Such a good movie. That was another one where like it was like they had some CGI, but like it was like
Only on the alien creatures, yeah. It was CGI, but fucking good.
well, like the flying ones,
Yeah.
but like and like the mass amounts of them. But like when it was like a one-on-one thing,
yeah,
it was like an animatronic.
yeah,
in
but
your
they're
suit or
really
something.
realistic.
They were because they had the eyes on the side and everything. It was
Fucking
that
crazy.
super good movie. We're gonna definitely be doing
Starship Troopers.
We're definitely doing Starship.
Would you like
Troopers.
to know more?
Yeah, would you like to know more? And then like yeah,
need to make
the
that up.
crazy like academy where people lose their arms or get shot and killed.
And it was like nonchalant, like, oh, he's dead.
And then one guy's like gonna go home because he accidentally got somebody killed or killed somebody, and then like they're like, oh no, like stay in, you're good. Like
we're at war with bugs.
yeah, we're at war with these bugs.
I do like the whole entire like propaganda scene where it's just like a bunch of kids stepping on cockroaches. Like, are you shitting me? This is
Do you like killing bugs? Well then we've got a career path for you.
the army.
Yeah.
That was
No, I love
RoboCop.
that. Yeah, but that. Yeah, back on that. Yeah, that was RoboCop. I liked that movie. Like I said, like I've watched that more times than like Rambo. But just because like it was different. It was I liked futuristic movies, but then I also liked like the traditional action movies. Rambo just kind of seemed like after the first one, the second one, and third one just seemed like they were like just silliness.
Oh yeah, like
almost.
fucking Rambo.
Like when he made like the 2012 one or whatever it was, where's the newer one where he's back in Vietnam, that was actually super good. Like I saw that in theaters, and that one was just really good and like very bloody, but like very very good compared to where the franchise was previously to it.
But we also established
So-
Rambo 1. Literally, one dude got disrespected and then just murdered a town.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, yeah.
I'm still on his side.
No,
They
I'm
were
not.
dicks.
Oh.
They like beat him and torture him for like no reason.
Yeah.
Then, at that point, all except for that young kid, they deserve to at least get punished or like have some sort of bad thing happen to him. Maybe not death, but
Fuck it, YOLO.
yeah,
Carpe diem.
Rambo's motto #YOLO.
Well,
They only live once.
yeah.
Dolo?
That was the other thing I forgot to mention. Like, I think in the later ones he does it. I don't think RoboCop reloads one time in this entire movie.
Well, that makes sense, because every time he puts his gun
Does
into
he
his...
even reload?
Yeah.
Do you even reload?
Well, that makes sense, though, because he puts the gun in his leg, his leg automatically reloads it.
No.
Maybe they're
I'm
not,
not going
really
with that.
bullets. And it's just energy.
It is sci-fi.
Maybe he's just shooting them through his finger and he just has the gun there as a representation.
It's his
Maybe.
dick.
The handgun.
His handgun.
Dude, we're back to the RoboCop. Huh?
Yes.
You really did watch it.
He's really excited about
He
it.
is.
I'm sorry, but it's just the play on words is real funny to me.
Just the play on words.
I'm getting off this topic. Yeah, so that was RoboCop.
Good
It's
job.
stuck in my head. God damn it, Fernando. I'm gonna go.
That was
Go home and watch
RoboCop.
Yeah,
RoboCop?
my girlfriend's gonna be like, "Oh, how was the thing? What movie did you review?" And I'll accidentally say it there. And she'll be like,
RoboCop.
Believe
"What
it.
the
I
fuck?"
believe it.
I find funny you would say RoboCop, and she goes like, "Why were they watching porn?"
Yeah, we sat around and watched porn and then decided to talk about it. 80s porn probably too. I'm guessing that's not like a recent remake.
I don't know. I didn't look into it. I just saw stuff where I'm like, oh god.
Yeah,
Anyway.
you didn't look into it yet.
That was RoboCop.
Cop.
Cop.
Yeah. Movie review on this one? Out of 10, what would you give it?
31 cops down.
30. Oh my god.
That's
nice.
real bad.
But nah, it was good.
I give it 2 clearances up.
You said 1 out of 10, and you say 2 clearances. God damn it.
Give it 4 Baby Ruths.
Sloth love RoboCop.
I give it a Robocock.
Oh my god.
On that note, see
Yeah.
you guys next week.
See you guys next week. And if you want to find out what episode we're reviewing next, check out this
What
clip.
movie we're reviewing next?
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to review our own episode. So we're going to review this one about how much we talked about the fake porn parody of Robocop. But yeah, if you want to check out or find out what we are going to be reviewing next, check out this clip. Later.
I'll be back.
And let us know. Did you even see that?